going to give you a brief exposure to the information that is collected in the knowledge base and where it resides when we're looking at the machining operations browser. So what I have here are engraving instructions from the knowledge base and also profiling and pocketing. These are all 2.5 axis cuts. I'm going to open these both up and I'm just going to look at the difference. We don't have any features we want to machine, so we're not going to take a look here. It doesn't matter which bit for now, but the feeds and speeds are probably going to be different because we have a soft material in yellow foam and a harder material in wood. So see, feeds and speeds for foam are this. So the machine plunges into the material at this rate, 200 inches per minute. It approaches the geometry at the same speed and engages, cuts, retracts, and departs from the cut. So it's basically this path, all at 200 inches per minute. If we look now at engraving in wood, we'll see that the numbers are different. So it's half the speed. It plunges in and approaches the geometry, cuts, retracts, and departs at half the speed of 100 inches per minute. Okay. And typically, it's still pretty fast at 100 inches per minute. Engraving is not going very deep into the wood typically. Right, if we look at the same thing for profiling, we're going to see very similar differences. In this case, we're going to take also a look at the difference between the density of a material like MDF and Baltic birch. We've got yellow foam. Let's look at feeds and speeds for yellow foam. Again, it's at 300 inches per minute. This is just profiling. We're cutting either on the inside or the outside of a line. Feeds and speeds on MDF, 150. Feeds and speeds on Baltic birch, 150 as well. So there's no difference there. Let's look at pocketing. And what pocketing does is I'm going to set one of these up real quick. Let's just do that. So what pocketing does is it comes in and it says, I'm going to clear this whole area. And so what it does is it sets up concentric geometries and either cuts from the inside out per layer or outside in. And then it looks like we're doing 1, 2, 3 layers here. So that's what pocketing is. So pocketing, it's going to be easier to go faster in yellow foam than it is in wood. So probably we're going to see 300 inches per minute there. So it's kind of maxed out. And then feeds and speeds with the wood, it's at 150, so it's about half the size or half the speed. So what else can we look at? If we go back into engraving, clearance geometry is probably going to be the same for all of these. We double click here and we have a visualization aid. We have the stock max plus a distance. And so we haven't talked about defining stock yet. We will do that very, very soon. But what this says is when we define it, or if it's not defined, it's the z equals 0 plane. It'll be 0.5 inches above that distance or that geometry. So if we have stock that's 2 inches thick and we 0 at the bottom of that stock, the tool's always going to clear a ½ inch above your stock. That way we ensure we're not going to run into any feature. Now, it's a very conservative way of setting things up. We could certainly set it to skim using skim and have a clearance value that we plug in here, but this is the conservative way. We know we're never going to hit anything. So I think it doesn't matter where we go here, they're all going to be set up the same. So stock max Z plus 5. Okay, so you can do the same thing just by walking through all of this. Parameters, it gets a little more tricky, and we're going to go through those in separate tutorials. But you shouldn't feel any hesitation to come in and poke around and see what these numbers are and start correlating what you are setting up for your cut paths with what is coming off the CNC bed as a cut object.